There are currently websites like buyweedonline.ca and others like it that operate outside of Ontario that deliver to Ontario residents. How are you going to be able to crack down on those retailers? Because you want OCS to be the only online player in the game.
Well, we encourage people in Ontario to do the only legal way you can buy cannabis in Ontario today is to go on the OCS.ca website and make your purchase. It'll be delivered with 1 to 3 days. And in April, you'll be able to have retail stores throughout the entire province, and we're very, very pleased with the rollout.
Websites like these, though, are outside of your jurisdiction. How do you enforce it? How do you crack down on those? And how do you prevent those sales from coming in?
Well, we encourage people to go on the legal channels in Ontario and go on the OCS website.
So there's nothing you can do.
Cannabis store website.
So you're saying there's nothing you can do.
And buy your cannabis legally in the province.
Legislation on regulations has not even passed yet.
At the website, OCS is selling a product that's called Cannabis Intimate Spray. Is that an appropriate product to be selling on the website?
Well, we'll leave it to the Ontario Cannabis Supply or Ontario Cannabis Store to continue to put products out there that the people of Ontario are looking forward to purchasing.
Have you ever smoked pot?
Thank you.
Have you ever smoked pot, Mr. Minister?
My mother's watching, guys.
You criticized the government for not having the cannabis bill passed today, but aren't you guys the ones holding it up?
On the contrary, absolutely not. Look, Mr. Ford everybody knew 3 years ago that this was coming. Mr. Ford, of all people, knows what the cannabis market's all about from his own history. But look, instead of focusing on this, knowing what the deadline was, nobody was unaware that it was October 17th, and yet we got pulled into this legislature time after time over the summer into the late midnight hours to talk about his vendetta against his past foes at Toronto City Hall.
Well, I'm concerned that there's confusion around what is the law and what isn't the law, and the government really should have taken its responsibility seriously instead of being so obsessed with, interfering in Toronto elections and actually got the cannabis bill passed. I'm intending to vote in favor of the bill, even though I have raised some concerns about it, and mainly I'm in favor because I've never believed that the Liberal government's 40 government-run monopoly stores would do anything to get rid of the underground, unsafe, illegal market. I want to get organized crime out of the cannabis market. I think the best way to do that is to have a number of dispensaries in communities across Ontario. That's what this bill will deliver on. I wish the government had listened on two key issues. One, aligning with the Smoke-Free Ontario Act was a mistake. I mean, the fact that, I can be walking in a park with my family and people are smoking cannabis, I think they should have aligned it more with alcohol laws. I think that would have been more appropriate. And then the second one is I want to make sure we're not going to replace a government monopoly with a private monopoly. And so I was arguing for having caps or either the number of licenses or the percentage of market share in licenses that any one company could have, because we don't want to see a private monopoly in the cannabis market, just like we don't want to see a public monopoly.